What is up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be going over everything you need to know about Fortnite's newest update. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, find it helpful or informative, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like to see more, and comment down below letting me know what you think of today's update. So today's update was not the flashiest by any means. There's not a whole lot of new content and items added to the game, but I do think it is pretty impactful. The most important change is going to be that they improved the movement speed. So this is going to be your regular walking and crouching speed, not your sprinting. I don't think anything changed with sprinting, but with the launch of Chapter 5, the regular movement speed and the crouch speed were much slower than what we had in the past, and today they improved the speed of both regular movement and crouching. Regular movement, to me, felt very good. It felt a lot better than how it has felt in Chapter 5 up to this point. Not sure if it was quite exactly as it was before Chapter 5, but it felt good enough to the point where I wasn't noticing it or wasn't really concerned about it. With earlier on in Chapter 5, going from sprinting to regular walking, the difference in speed was just so different that it was very jarring. And the regular movement speed just felt incredibly slow, and it did not feel good to move around. Honestly, it felt like my controller was broken playing this season. If you guys have ever had a controller where it's not quite stick drift, but it doesn't let you move forward as fast as you should, that's what playing this season felt like to me for the regular movement. And as it is now, after today's update, it felt a lot better to me, and I just wasn't noticing the movement as much. Like I said, it was very jarring going from sprinting to walking before. Now it doesn't feel that way. It's definitely slower to walk than sprint, but it's not so much so that I feel like I'm traveling through Loot Lake, Crouching, it felt better than it did before this update, but it still feels slower to me than what it did prior to Chapter 5. I'm fine with that, though, honestly. The crouching speed was never the biggest concern to me. It was just the regular movement. For crouching, I think you should be slower because, you're trying to make a sneaky play. The trade-off of crouching is that you move slowly, but you're going to make less audio and you're not going to show on visual audio. So I think crouching should be slower, but I'm happy that they improved the regular movement. This is the best playing Chapter 5 has felt to me so far. So I'm very happy that they did this update. The next addition, and this is going to be the only addition to the loot pool, is going to be that the Icy Grappler was added. This is similar to the Grappler that we had in Fortnite OG, except it has infinite uses. The downside is that it gives you the icy feet effect for a little bit after you land. So I'm not a huge fan of this item at all. I really don't like the icy feet effect. It's never been something that I've been fond of really ever. You know how if you destroy a snowman, you got those ice cubes on your feet for a while afterwards? That's what this gives you. You can find this anywhere that chests, llamas, the presents, you can get it from a lot of sources. But overall, I don't think it's a very good item. The only time I would really ever use this would be if I just didn't have shockwaves or I didn't have a grapple blade. But as far as the mobility items go, I think the Icy Grappler is the weakest currently in the loot pool. And that's just kind of how it is. It does negate fall damage. I had a few people asking me this today. If you take fall damage when using this, you can take fall damage after using it, but once you use it, you're not going to take fall damage until you land. So it's how it was in Fortnite OG. And again, this was the only change to the loot pool. Nothing was vaulted. The grapple blade and shockwaves are still in the game. That was another thing I was asked about a bunch with this being added, was if they vaulted shockwaves or if they vaulted the grapple blade. No, both of those are still in. They just added the Icy Grappler as a winter-themed mobility item. It'll probably be removed once Winterfest is done. The next change is going to be that they fixed bunkers in Zero Build. So if you don't use bunkers, you might not have known this, but for some reason in Chapter 5 there was a bug where the bunkers would always face north regardless of where you were looking when you threw it. So now it works how it worked in the past, where when you throw your bunker, you should be able to walk up the ramp and use it properly and not just basically get locked out of your own bunker because you're fighting someone who's north of you. So that is very good. Another bug they fixed is whatever was causing the hired NPCs to be vaulted, and now hired NPCs are back in the game. So launch of Chapter 5, you could hire the NPCs, the different specialists and stuff, but there was a bug which caused them to disable hired NPCs. That bug was fixed today, and the hired NPCs are now back in the game. So if you want to take advantage of that, I'll have a picture on screen now from Fortnite.gg, and their website will also be linked in the description below. These are all the NPCs on the map. Let me know down in the comments if you would like me to make a video kind of going over the different hired NPCs that I think are good and worth using in Chapter 5. But like I said, it's on the Fortnite.gg website, so I'm not sure how useful that would be to many players. Another change in this update is going to be that the medallion circles are now not as bright. So you can still see the circle on your map, but the yellow isn't as bright as it was before. And this is mainly just because it was confusing for a lot of people in the end game when there was like, you know, the safe area, the next moving zone, and then also like 4 yellow indicators on the map as well. It was confusing for some players to know where the safe area was going to be. So they fixed that in today's update by making the medallion circles a little bit lighter. Not really a big change in my opinion. There's also some areas of the map were too dark during nighttime, and they fixed that and improved that. I didn't really notice this change at all, but if you are someone who is struggling to see at nighttime, this might be an improvement for you. And that is going to be it for this update. The main 2 things are just that the movement was improved and the Icy Grappler was added, and then there was like some bug fixes, but this wasn't the biggest update by any means as far as new items go. And that's why I said it wasn't the flashiest. The movement is definitely an improvement and a big change, but it doesn't like stand out on paper, you know? One final thing I want to talk about is going to be that augments are not currently in the game. So there was a leaked week 3 challenge to use augments, and week 3 challenges went out today. So a lot of people thought, okay, augments will be returning in today's update. Augments are not currently in the game. They might be added, you know, in a few days or a few weeks or whatever. But as of right now, augments aren't in the game. And when the challenges went out, they changed that like use augment challenge to like use health or something along those lines, or gain health. So augments aren't in the game. I know a lot of people were, you know, definitively telling me they were coming back today because of the challenges, but Epic changed the challenge. So if you guys were interested or worried about if augments are in the game, they currently are not as of the time this video is recorded. But that is going to be it for this. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of this update, and if you would like to see a video about which hired NPCs I think are good. As always, if you enjoyed it, give it a like, subscribe if you like some more, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Three opponents remain. I don't know if there's somebody by this car. There was earlier, but that might have been the guy I just killed. He might have like walked up chasing us. You can get purple for presents with no attachments, yes. Or the drone, thanks. The like flying drones. I don't think those drop attachments either. Maybe this car will be usable. I feel like I haven't seen a car with tires on it in so long. Unfortunately, I don't have forecast, so I don't know like what side of the zone is like ideal to play, but it is what it is. You know, I throw them out like without even knowing. Accidentally. Subconsciously. I hear him. I'm pretty sure he's behind that rock. I might be just losing it though. Like if I'm gonna start like having auditory hallucinations, I feel like it would have to be like Fortnite footstep audio. That would be the way it goes. Wait, did I not have a crown that whole... I feel like I probably could have picked up a crown that game. I don't know.